She was learning, she was animal made. I'm like, Mama, why you want to kill yourself? You are 40, you have your children already. I mean, just focus. But one day I asked her that, why are you stressing yourself this one? My mom learned fashion designing, she learned catering, she learned baking. There was literally nothing my mom could not do. So she made my hair, she made my clothes, she made my food. I really didn't have to need anything because she was there. And I asked her one of those, I said, why are you doing all of these things? And then she said that she made a promise to herself that by the time she's dying, there will be nothing she said she wants to do that she would not have achieved. That was the change for me. You know, every time I host my conference, I used to like her around. I'm sorry, I get really emotional. I like her to be around because I want her to see how powerful her story is. And so what I began to do was to invite women to tell their stories. So I would look for women who are living the kind of life that I see a lot of young women want to live. Because I tell you, a lot of young girls are so scared for the future. Some of them are scared of getting married. Some of them are scared of, focusing on their career. Some of them are scared of doing even what God has proposed them to do. Because they feel like if I focus on this side, this one has to suffer. So the more they begin to hear stories of people who are actually excelling in different areas of their life, and a lot of examples are in this room. I've seen a lot of women here today who are killing it in every ramification. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. And so I began to tell myself that, you know what, when we tell more of the stories, people would believe that it's actually possible. When we tell these women that, you know what, you don't have to choose either or. You can be everything you want to be. You can be all that God has created you to be. Yes, I understand that, some people will argue that, there's nothing like work-life balance, which I understand. But there's something called work-life harmony, such that you can harmonize every part of your life. And you don't have to keep one for the other. And so I began to hold on to that. And, for me, that was the nudge. And so everywhere, I have the opportunity to talk to young ladies or women, I just tell them that you can be all that God has created you to be. And for me, I have a mandate that by the time I get to the end of my life, I want it to be that I fulfilled every single thing. Every single thing. Every single thing, just like my mom. I want to get to my old age and I don't want to have no regrets. Oh, I wish I did. No, I will do it. I'm not wishing nothing. So we are doing it. We are doing it because this is the life we are living. And so for me, that's the nudge. Thank you.
Ladies, good experience. Wait. Hers was experience. Hers was pain. How was she dare to ask why? Which why are you asking today? Abi, you're just eating, sleeping, and you're just managing and going forward. No, we're not. No. You don't be better than that. My job is serving basketballs with beauty. Thank you, Terry.
Good afternoon, Abi. Good evening, everyone.
We know you better than this. We know you better than this.
The pressure. Good afternoon. I was just listening to their own, and the Lord was telling me, hope you know that your own is not really a nojo.
That's what we want to hear.
So, me, I was yanked off. They just dragged me and put me in the. I like to think that the Lord killed the old me to birth what He wanted. I was playing the path of maybe businesswoman, women leader, a voice, and I felt like that was it. And the Lord pulled me out, killed me, and gave me another life. And I like to say my job is to adjust the diadem of women. Wealth is something that women are afraid of. Wealth. And my job is to align women to the path of wealth. And also to tell Christian women that money is a messenger and it's not a sin. In Luke 8:3, there were women that funded Jesus Christ's ministry. Joanna, Susanna, Mary Magdalene. One of them was said that from her resources, the wife of Chusa, Herod's steward, from her resources. There are some things that you cannot do for the kingdom today because you don't have money. It's not that you are not anointed. You don't have money. That's where Noshose comes in. So the Lord pulled me out and said, yes, I know that I've given you a grace for business, but this is not all that there is. I knew there was something more, but I didn't know what it was. And because I like intercession, that period I was always praying, and I felt that that was all. But the Lord said, no, if I allow you continue like this, you would have a voice, but it would be the wrong voice. So the Lord pulled me out of that. And now, what is making me do, so the community, the legacy I'm dropping, is women that don't have to separate themselves from their business. I don't know, maybe some of you would hear, leave God, this is not business. Yeah? Yes, we hear it. On Mondays, we hear it. Today not be Sunday, leave God first. This is business. You can actually marry. You don't need to have different personality to own a business, to handle money, to handle finance, to handle money, to handle wealth. The type that my daughter saw me one day, say, Mommy, do the thing well. You know I'm doing hair. Yeah, she told me about 2 weeks ago. She said, this business you're doing, am I not the one that will take over? She has seen something. She has seen something. She has seen something. And they don't see something in an ordinary thing. There's something there. So, I feel like the part where I come in the marketplace is to normalize wealth. Not your husband's own. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. Your own. That your great-grandchildren will say, my great-grandmother. Instead of saying, power of my father's house. No, the wealth of my mother. The wealth of my mother's house is what they will say. So we marry everything with apostolic followership and prophetic clarity. That you are not just doing it now this thing they rain. No. You are getting direction per second billing. So 3 weeks ago, I was just driving. I just said, scale SMP. Scale SMP. I said, scale. Okay. We scale. I brought in 7 man. I know some people have scale. I just did scale 8 years later. And before you know, a week after, I said, focus on your personal brand. I'm telling you how God can actually focus. I said, okay, focus on how do they do it? I started to check. I checked you out. I checked on people. I said, okay, separate yourself from the business. Okay. Because the Lord, wealth in the hand of women is powerful. There is something that you can do because you have women have natural discernment. Yes. We call it foresight. Is in the kingdom, let's call it discernment. You can see, you can stay and be seen, then you now have substance to back it up. You are dangerous, weapon.
That's why the devil will always tell you cannot do it.
You know? So we come to marry the two. Fire here, fire there. In intercession, you dey hot. In marketplace, you dey hot. That's what we've come to do. To normalize it, and also show an example that it is possible. So that's just where I come in.
My ladies, is it divine intervention? Wait! Is it divine intervention that God said, let me show you in progression? I will give you an easy, so-called regular life, and you can make something out of it. I will give you pain and you can still make something out of it. Then when there's nothing and you just say why, you make something out of it. And should in case you have plenty coconut head and you don't want to make something out of what you say you should do, he will yank you out of it. You see, God does not stand on politeness. He doesn't need it. He will be gracious, yes. But when you want to show him that I'm not hearing, my ear is paining me, he will tell you that ear, I created it. I created it, so I will go and do it in a way that you have no choice. You see, God knows how to speak everybody's language. And I tell people that when you see, everybody was built for a purpose. A purpose. Not purpose, all these purpose that we are talking. There's this thing that God created you for. That's why like me now, I tell people that this my yellowness, it serves purpose. Yes. When I walk into a room, you will know I've arrived. Abi? So now, that's my arrival. What is he doing for God? That attention that I've grabbed, what is he doing for God? My talking, he get purpose. My height, he get purpose. This side, he get purpose. Right? All things work together for good. So as you sit down here, ask yourself, what exactly did God create me to do? I promise you, all of us know the answer to that question. The problem is that we are all being distracted, or we are too afraid, or we are too stubborn. There's something just not allowing you do what God said you should do. And as you can see, by any means necessary is God's game. So we have seen that legacy does not need protocol. Then you identify the legacy. You have been called, you are charged, you have left amplified woman, and you are ready to go and start doing legacy. If like that, if you fit, run now. There's work to be done. As you have gone, first of all, just the research alone, your eyes will be turning on your own. Thank God for ChatGPT, at least it's helping. But even then, my sisters will tell you, ChatGPT and I went on like a 3 months conversation. Every day we are arguing with ourselves before I finally got what I needed for this year. That's just research. You are not talking of the energy, the people, the resources, the spiritual bandwidth, everything. So I'm going to ask two ladies here. Let them just give us brief example of what a week in the day of Morenike and a week in the life of Enifome. Two of you, please, just give us, because you see, if everybody thinks we are playing, that once you just identify your legacy and use a God-given legacy, therefore, all the things will just be solved effortlessly. No, just listen small. Let's arrange ourselves.
Okay. So my life is very multifaceted. So sometimes I even see people that their life, they have just one thing they are doing. Like, these people don't know how lucky they are, to be honest. Because sometimes being a multi-potentialite is I won't say sometimes, it's a problem. It's a really big problem. Because God is not calling you to one mountain, He's calling you to several mountains. He's giving you assignments per second. He's telling you do this, do that. While you're in the midst of that, somebody is sending you a DM. A woman is being abused right now. She has 3 children. What can we do about it? And then you're calling DSVA, you are calling this one. You will not rest until that woman gets help. And then as you're finishing that one, so I have 2 boys. And my boys are, people say I have energy, but my boys, they are energy. That's their name, energy. Yeah, Urobo. So they have energy and very strong-willed. Today, coming here today, I gave them a simple instruction. They did the one in their mind, and I lost 2 hours of my time. Just to give you an example. So a day in my life, or will I say a week in my life, shuffles really around my personal brand, Live Again Foundation, being a mother, being a minister. God always hammers it into my head. You are first a minister before any other thing you're doing. Everything I do flows from my calling, flows from ministry, flows from who God has called me to be, which is a life giver. Which means that if I'm even driving, He can stop me and say, talk to that person. Like, speaking is like, I can't run away. If I decide I don't want to do it again, to come and meet me inside the restroom, even if I'm resting, to come and meet me there, right? So that's really what it looks like for me. Last week, I was at the Live Again shelter. There was a conflict. I had to go and solve the conflict because there are 4 women and 4 children right now in our shelter. Your child slaps my child, your child hits my child, I don't like the way your child always drags my child's hair. And so it's been going on, and the Lord said, go and have a vigil. And whenever go and have a vigil in the shelter, he wants to do something. It's either he wants to expose something, he wants to heal someone, he wants to repair something. So I went there, and we had this conflict resolution, each session with each woman. When we were done, there was one particular lady that kept crying and everything. So at the end of the day, what he did was he broke down those defenses. And by the time the Holy Spirit started to tell her, things like, you were not loved as a child, you were not, things that only she and the Holy Spirit knew, all those defenses came down. And by the time we knew, everybody was hugging each other, peace was restored, and all of that. And that's an example of shelter runs, right? And then there is the foundation itself, what we do, every other thing that has to do with community building, growth for the women, all of that. And then my personal brand, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, and all of that. So basically, it's always very busy for me, but I've learned to pace myself. I've learned that this is not performance, this is God living his life through me. So I have to know that I am not living for the audience of people, applause, what they think about me, how they want to see me. Is really around, have I fulfilled God's will for today? And sometimes that can just be rest, drop your phone, don't do anything, spend time with me. I'm learning that I live in this world, but I do not operate with the system of this world. The system of this world is wake up, carry your phone. I don't operate with that. So I am living in heaven and visiting the earth. That's how it is.
I love it. People, it's you. Let's hear from our very tish lady.
All right, so I would say that first of all, I'm a structure person, right? And for me to be sane, right, I ensure that everything that I want to do, there has to be structure. And so that's why it seems like I can do a lot of things because of structure. So my business, structured. Grow with Rennie, the mentorship program, structured. Oakland, structured. Everything that I want to do, anything, once I wake up and I say that this is what I want to do, aside from the strategy in achieving it, there has to also be a plan of, who am I delegating to, who are my foreigners? Because I've also noticed the kind of person that I am. I'm a starter and not a finisher. So I've been able to understand that about myself. That I'm that kind of person that if you wake me up now and say, this is what we are to do, I will stand up with all the energy, with all the ginger, with all the motivation, everything. I already have a blueprint, I have a plan. We start. But you see, when it gets to the middle part, I begin to get bored. I begin to get, what's the next thing? And so because of that, I have a team that they are my finishers. And so they don't really want to be in the front line. They also are not the ones that will start the vision. But they're just like, please give it to us. So in the middle, I give it to them. And then they are also like running with it. And so it just seems like everything is working. So it's very important that you also notice that about yourself. So typical day now that I'm able to like delegate all of this, typically on a typical day, I wake up by 4 a.m. When I wake up,
are you hearing?
After delegate, so that's why.
Oh,
I gave,
madam!
Wait,
don't let us bring ourselves outside here.
I'll come in now. That's why I first said all the things that I said, so that you understand that I'm not the only one, right? So I wake up by 4, and then I have like my personal devotion between 4 and 4:30. Between 4:30 and 4:45, I go brush my teeth, dress up, and then I'm headed to the gym. So I leave the house by 4:45 and I get to the gym for 5. From 5 to 6:45 I'm at the gym. I finish, I finish at the gym. I'm home by 7. Thankfully I have a house manager that has been with us for 11 years. Yeah, she's been amazing. Yes. This year, my husband and I turned 15 years, actually. So she's been with us since I started giving birth. When I say started giving birth, you would think that maybe I have many children. I just have 2 children. But, she was there before I even gave birth to my second child. So we already have a routine. She knows. So the girls are already ready. One is in secondary school. The other one is in primary 5. So once we do our daily confessions, we pray, all of that. By 7:30 they go to school. By 8, once it's 8 o'clock, I'm clocking in with my team for about an hour. We do everything that we need to do, and then everybody goes about their way. I'm also clocking in with our programs director. I'm doing every other thing that I need to do. Now, I have like a spreadsheet, and there's something that I do November/December of the year of every year, planning into the new year. So I have a complete spreadsheet on my personal life, on my marriage, on my I have to ask my husband because we call
No,
it
you can give
family
us a
strategy
template.
planning. It's a template, yes. So so everything, yes. So everything. So my personal life, parenting, what we want children to achieve, our finances, the target that I have set for myself financially, So if I had to speak to a financial advisor, like, yes, yeah, it's a mathematician. So, and then there's also like enjoyment because every Monday I must visit the spa and I must also go on a restaurant date by myself. Exactly. No, so it's
Are you hearing?
no. Because at the end of the day, I don't want.
Four.
Yes.
Can you
yes.
see
So,
the difference?
So, funny enough, by like around 2 p.m., I've already almost completed all the tasks that I want to do. So I sleep by 9. If you call me by 9:05,
Wait, guys.
I sleep by
It starts
9.
by 4.
Yes,
She
and I
sleeps
sleep
by
9. In
Uh-huh.
fact, it's so interesting. My best friend called me back to back, I think 3 days ago and then 2 days ago. By the time I woke up in the morning, I saw that it was 9:05, 9:10. And I called her back and I said, "You really have faith in me?" Oh. She said, "Let me just try my luck. I know you will be sleeping by 9." So I don't, so there's certain things so that's why I say I'm a structured person. So if I sleep by 9 and wake up by 4, I already have good 7 hours of sleep.
As the doctor recommended.
And I am alert, I am sharp, everything, right? So I know before, in the earlier years, I used to sleep maybe 3-4 hours. I won't lie to you, right? But then I knew that there were certain times in life where you have to do what you have to do. There's certain things that you just have to. When I was still building my business, my children were still younger, I knew that there were sacrifices that I had to make. So now, I don't know if I have gotten, I don't know if I can say, oh, I'm not enjoying the fruit of my labor, but, but there will be times when maybe, I might have to sleep maybe 4 or 5 hours, but I'm just saying that on a regular day. So what I do is that every month every month I go back to my spreadsheet that I talk about, because most times January we're all gingered, we have like our New Year resolutions, New Year, new me, everything. But then by time life starts lifing during the year, we then forget about all these things. So I always go back and then just to remind myself. And so for a woman that is on purpose, woman that wants to live a life of legacy, of impact, you have so many ideas. And for women, we have so many ideas running through our minds that if we are not able to catch it, and also process it and also have a plan, just realize that 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you keep saying, oh, there's this thing that I want to do, and then you're not doing it. Even if it's just 10%, 20% of the things that you say you want to do, that you eventually do, after a while, you see that you've been able to accomplish. So I think that I'll just stop here. But for me, I said to myself that as I'm doing this work of purpose, of impact, of legacy, of this, I must also enjoy my life. It's non-negotiable. It's not, because it's a lot. Do you know sometimes when you're just like you just sit down and then you're just like, what? Like what? Because you realize, especially as women, we give of ourselves so much. We naturally. So if you're not careful, right? When you have 100,000 naira, you say to yourself that, you know what, I want to go to the market, I want to buy things for myself. Then you now see one hairband, you see one cloth for your children. Before you know what's happening, you spent 95,000 on every other person but yourself.
Even the 5,000 that you are spending on yourself,
5,000
is so
naira.
that you will share it with the others.
With the others, do you understand? But you are worth, spending and enjoying, your life basically. So I always say that I don't want to get to 70, I don't want to get to 80, look back and realize that I did not really live. Yes, I did not really enjoy this life. I don't want to have any regrets. Everything that I've said that I want to do, I'm going to do it by God's grace. Hallelujah.
Can you see that we have a common trend here? Every woman on this panel. And again, that's the same way I do. I actually teach people how to design their 70-year-old self. We all do not want to get to 70, 80 and not have achieved the things, the desires of our hearts. So the question I'm going to ask you guys today while we're talking legacy, because we want this to be practical. Have you even thought about how you want to arrive at 70? Do you understand? Like many of us, we are just living today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. But you're supposed to think of what you want to get to and then walk backwards and say, okay, I want to be Forbes best writer of the decade, of the century. How do I start? Okay, maybe I have to go and start taking a writing course. Then maybe I need to now, even first of all, start by Googling how do you become a Forbes best writer. Maybe you will now see that, oh, I need to do this, do that. You start working, and that becomes your day-to-day. These women here have identified what they want, how they want to arrive at 70. And it informs their day-to-day. And Morenike here was a masterclass in structured living. Like from 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock, minute by minute, blow by blow. And because we are very, very helpful here, if you just take a step outside, I have a planner. It's called Elevate You Planner. You see this thing that she's talking? You will just use the planner. All the structure she says you should structure it. We help you structure it, and you will be following it day by day. So grab one on your way out. And buy for your children too. I have college planner, I have student companion. So university children, secondary school children, all of that is outside. Thank you, please. Okay. Now, we have seen that this is not about vibes or likes. It's work. It's plenty of work. But let me tell you the thing. Why do I have to work this hard? Why? Why do I have to even leave legacy? Why can't my legacy be that I enjoyed life and I went? I came here, I saw, and I've gone. Why can't that be my legacy? Because let me tell you the danger. When God puts those desires in your heart and you ignore them, the regret, yes, you can't erase it. You will never have satisfaction. If you like, buy the biggest car, buy the biggest house, you will always feel like something is missing because you are not in that path. But guess decide. You see, every woman here, you don't need to ask them. They are happy. They've not even achieved the end of the story. Just the journey alone gives you satisfaction, gives you fulfillment, gives you deep joy. So the question is, do you want to the satisfaction and regrets, or you want to start your joy and your fulfillment today? Okay, we're going to wrap this up very, very quickly. My next two questions are to Mary and Anoshia. Quick one, please. What has it cost you to build what you are building? Sacrifice? What's your biggest sacrifice that you think you have made to get here? Or if there was no sacrifice, it's okay.
Okay. For me,
Oh, and would you do it any other way?
no, I won't.
Mhm.
For me, I think I'll start from here. One of the aspects of my life that the enemy came for very early is people. I have a gift of people. But before I knew I have a gift of people, the enemy knew since. So the enemy attacked. And so what I am building now by the Spirit of the Lord has helped me in that area to transform. Like it has changed me. Because imagine getting instructions from the Lord saying, this person will come and be calm, be patient with them, and all of that. So I'm sure some of my fellow panelists can relate. If you have a need for excellence, you almost are impatient with small things and just, and this one has made me to calm down. And just, the Lord is saying, that's a child I died for too. And the Lord is saying, I brought her purposely to break that thing inside of you. So imagine delegating, for example, something that you've already seen the end. But this person is going 1 feet per 3 weeks. And you have to just allow them. So in the process, I think that's the biggest cost for me. by the grace of God, I'm someone with foresight. I know I saw this day in November. This day, I saw it in November. So imagine having to just wait. And just wait. Just wait. Sit down and wait. Why are you not waiting? Sit down. Yoruba will say Faraburuku Bale. Calm down. You know? So, to me, I will be honest. That's because I've seen the end, like my father, before I started it. You know, so, but the Lord has taught me to work with people and work at their pace. And, you know, there are some things He has given to me that even though I know the end, I don't know the process. They know the process. So I don't have a choice. So it has built me also, especially character-wise. I've learned to not be always demanding. I want to talk to you at 6 a.m. I just finished prayer. I just finished my time, right? And God has told me something. I expect you to be awake. Why are you sleeping?
Seriously.
Yes, that was it. Why are you not like, especially if God is telling me you're my assistant in this work? Did He not tell you that I am like this? Do you understand? So sometimes it is actually a learning process for even you too. You are getting to know yourself and you're building yourself. And the Lord is like someone telling me that the person that the Lord told me to go and submit to, the person is bad, is bad. Is it that God is myopic? He does not know that the person has those things that you are complaining about. It means that there's something inside of you that person's character will kill. God wants to kill that thing. So He will align you to go to that person. Do you understand? So it's not like God forgot that person has those things that you are complaining about. Do you understand? So there is also something inside of you that needs to break. So God has looked at, vessel onto the son. Okay, this is the son, we do it. Or you carry this person and go and put on that. And that thing dies. So for me, it's the flip side. Right? I may be the convener, but these people, they've bent my hand. And I'm seeing it like for the better. So that is, for me, my pace. I had to slow down. I had to slow down and then carry them in the place of prayer. But over time you will see, because there's no way we will relate that I will rub off on you and you will rub off on me. So now they are picking that speed, but I had to pay that patience and stillness to slow down. For me, that's the biggest cost, I think.
What a cost indeed.
Okay. I think for me, it would be the cost of obedience. You see, I used to be the girl that thought she knew what she wanted to do at every point in time. I'm not even joking. I used to have a diary at the time, and I remember, I think when I turned 18, I knew what I wanted to do at 20. I knew the age I wanted to get married. Those things were prim and proper on my diary. You couldn't tell me nothing, you know. You know. And I remember then when I finished my diploma and I got a job in Access Bank, I'm like, correct, this is it. Let me set up myself, you know. And I was saying myself, I'll just do Access Bank for 1 year, and then from there I'll go to, maybe I'll just go to, school. I'll continue. I used to have all of these things figured out, honestly. So in my mind, I knew that at 23 I've graduated. So 25-ish, I would have gotten married. Before 20, I would have had my 2 children, 30. I had those things. But guess who was not even in school at 25? Let me tell you, my journey was disrupted, and I knew it was God teaching me. I knew so well. When I finished my ND, I worked in Access Bank. It was supposed to just be 1 year, and then it eventually became 6 years. But throughout the 6 years, and then I felt to myself, you know what? Let me not just waste this, time. Let me just be schooling alongside. And I enrolled in school. So I was working and I was schooling. But tell me why I finished 400 level. I did my project. It was graduation and my name was not on the list. How? I went to school every day, at the time I was living in Alagbado. Anybody who knows, I'll just be quick. I was living in Alagbado and I was working in VIO in July. And so I would come when we were on break. Let me tell you, it was National Open University. It was in VI, the one in VI. And so I would, leave. We have 1 hour break during work. So between 12 to 1, I'll just enter an pep, quickly go to the office in VI. And then I wrote letters. I said, I wrote these exams. I was here. Look at my docket. Look at it was signed. And then they said, oh, some of your scripts were missing. I said, it's not possible. I wrote this because I've paid for this semester. I did all I could. And then they kept saying, you know what, you need just re-register the courses. I said, no, I'm not registering it because you see this my coconut head. I'm not going back to do this. And then you know what, I kept on with that, I'm not doing it. And then years began to pass. Years began to pass. Let me tell you something about time. You don't know how quickly it is going. You don't know. I'm telling you. And so when I woke up to the realization, I was already 26. And then I said, Mary, you need this degree. It's very important. And I spoke to one of my friends at the time. She had school in Cyprus, went over to the US and then to Canada. I said, I'm very good. Like when I'm speaking with you, you would probably not even know that maybe I didn't have a degree at that time. I'm very good. And because I'm also in the public space, at that time I was already winning awards, speaking on stages. What are you talking about? But I knew that for the level that God was calling me into, there were some things I needed that would be sufficient, that we needed for my next level. And so I had to go and start again from 100 level. I'm not joking. It's not a lie. I had to go and start again. And so as that was happening in my academics, at 24, I had already done my introduction at the time. There was this guy, we had been together from a very young age. We're going to get married. And then it was so busy. All our friends were like, our wife. I loved it. And then we did the introduction. I needed to follow this story because when I say that God disrupted a lot of my plan, for me it was just the cost of obedience. Because when you have your plans and God is saying that if you like, go and come back, you will be here, you will meet me here. And so I done my introduction at the time, and I think 2 weeks after the introduction, I was invited to come and speak at a place. And then I think the guy showed up, and after the event, he got angry. You didn't recognize me, you didn't even come and greet me. And I'm like, bro, as what? And in all fairness, at that time, I really didn't have patience. If you talk to me anyhow, I will give you back, fire for fire. I don't care, And, we used to have this, we will break up today, we'll come back together, we'll break up today, come back together. That time when the whole thing happened, I just said, you know what, I don't think I'm ready for this marriage. I want to take a break. That was one of the toughest decisions I've had to make at 24. And I remember that when I made that decision, there's this man, we used to call him, Daddy Prophet. He said, Mary, come and see me. What do you mean you don't want to marry this guy? I have checked your destiny file. Oh, this is your... I'm not joking. And this man told me, I'm telling you.
Jesus.
You see, he told me that he had checked the destiny file, and that when he checked, what he saw was a twin file. And that the twin file was with myself and this guy. So if I didn't marry this guy, it means I was steering that file. And so I have to do all I can. You make sure you marry this guy. And I'm not, in the shortest possible time, I had to be quick. And so I stood in front of that man that day. I will not forget, October 1st, it was a Sunday, because again, I was working on radio at that time. So he came to me at the studio in Unilag FM. I was standing in front of me and he kept on saying all of those things. Again, now, because I have my background in mass communication. So as he was saying all those, I just pressed record on my phone and I was, recording everything he was saying. Because already I had broken up. My parents were already saying, no, you are not going to break up. You have to, because, everyone loved him. So when I got to the house, I just told my mom, Mom, come here. Oh. They said they don't check your picking destiny. And I think, as the man was talking, the man was saying, it's people from your father's house. I don't want you to marry. My daddy heard that one and got angry. My dad heard that one and got angry. That was my saving grace. And then my parents supported me. But what that journey has taught me is that no matter what you do, if God is not leading you, you will continue to crumble. Every single thing. Because I remember then that everything I was trying to do, it was like, I'm just doing all of these things. But God kept saying that you will come back here and you will start where I want you to start. It took me, how many years? About 7 years to, retrace that step. And I was just saying, okay, God have mercy. I've learned my lesson. Forgive me now, pity me now. But God is here, I've still not learned this skill. Because I was still making some choices. So for me, I think it was the cost of obedience. Even with my foundation, for instance, there are sometimes I want to, do some programs. I want to be doing conferences every year. But God is saying, calm down. not be every, you wait first. Go and learn this thing. And I remember that there was a particular time I was also beginning to say, God, did you really call me to do this? What is, and then God said, okay, don't worry, I'm going to show you one testimony. I was in Cyprus and then I met a lady. And then she said, Mary, oh, I've completed my nursing degree right now. And I'm like, oh my God, Debbie, are you sure? She said, yes, I'm graduating. Do you know that it was when I attended Multi-Woman Conference 1.0, you invited a woman that told us that we could be anything we want to be. I went back to school and now I'm graduating. That was the testimony I needed. I looked at her, I said, okay, God, thank you. I said, okay, you know what? So for me, it was the cost of obedience. For me, it was the cost of listening to God. I used to say, how do people even hear God say? People will come and say, oh, I heard God. God told me. Me, I used to look at those people and see they're lying. You know. There's some of them, you know, something, and you will see, that's and you know, a lot of people will say, God told me. And in reality, when you begin to walk with God, God will actually begin to tell you things. You will be very sure that this one, it was God that told me. So for me, it was that, you know, learning to actually listen and obey and saying, you know what, God, if you say this, I will do it. Okay, no, I'll follow you. It may not be easy, it may be rough, it may be stressful, but I'm still going to follow. Thank you.
Ladies, I know we have gone over time, so we're wrapping up. We're wrapping up. No. Okay, no questions. Good. Now, no. We're done. We have heard all their stories. See, all these stories were not for us to be hearing. He enter, clock it. These are real life stories so that you can see that legacy building is a factual thing. Regular, every day. It would cost you, but the cost of not starting your legacy if you have not started today is more than anything it will cost you. You have to be listening for God's voice in your life. And that means you have to have a deep relationship with him, because how do you hear somebody that you don't know? How do you even know it's him talking to you if you don't know him? How do you recognize his voice? Right? And so, please, as we leave here today, we hope with these few words of ours that you have been amplified. And not just being amplified, you are going to take action. And so I'm going to ask my panelists to give us one word as we move deeper. No, one word. That's what's here. As we have moved deeper into 2026, just one word what is one intentional shift? What's posture? What things should they do? One word. It can be described in one word. Whether they should obey, whether they should work harder. One word, each person. One word or phrase. Yeah.
To structure the words to come together for one.
I can go.
Let me say my own. While they are thinking, I think for me it's going to be that everything that you need for life and godliness, God has given you. So be all that you want to be. You have all the capacity you need. One word. Phrase, sentence.
Oh yeah, now if that's the case, this is my own one word though. You don't have to be famous to be impactful.
Love it. Yes.
Just ensure. Sorry. It's all one word actually. Just ensure that you are intentional about making sure that you don't leave anybody without value. Make sure that you are making their lives better. Thank you for my one word. Thank you. One word.
Now that we have already ascertained what one word is. Okay, so I'm going to make this very quick.
One word.
Do the inner work, because it's what is inside that will be amplified. And don't joke with prayer this year. That's all I'm going to say.
One word.
Not Bible verse. One word.
Ask the Lord for nations, and he will give it to you for your inheritance. Don't be afraid. Ask.
Do you see why I told them to leave us with one word?
Just ask.
Take care. At this point, I'm seizing your mic. Give me my mic. Give me my mic. A round of applause for these lovely women. Please stand up, stand up, stand up. So I let my allegiance to the one who has called me. I will make it a start. People are on me. The master is in me. So I let my allegiance to the one who has called me. I will make it a start. The price that you paid, and the love that you showed, and the prayer that you made, I will make Jesus proud. The price that you paid, and the love that you showed, and the prayer that you made, I will make Jesus proud. Be here. Focus on me, Please, technical, please pull up the video. The next breakout session, please. Breakout session. I need to give them their gifts. Speakers for the breakout session. Sunshine, Onye, Chioma. Please come up. Very quickly. Oh yeah, play my video, please. Guys, ladies, please. We have not closed. I promise you, we have not closed. Not closed. Do not go.
And to say that I'm excited to be in this room today is an understatement. I was looking forward to give you that hug. But hey. And to say that I'm excited to be in this room today is an understatement. I was looking forward to give you that hug. But hey, circumstances beyond my control, but I'm still here. And I'm sure that you're still going to get the meat of the matter. Yes, like you heard of Wendy Olonke. Make some noise. Yes, you can still feel the energy. Even though I'm not like I'm live, just hug me from the screen. It is Women's Growth Academy Conference 2026. The Amplified Woman. On a mission, in motion, with might. Brenda. Come on now. We call her the woman leader. Who would have been better to lead and host a conference for women like this? I love it. Like we love it. Today, I've been charged to actually deliver on the subject, the amplified woman as a legacy builder, raising leaders for the future you may never see. I want to say thank you to our woman leader, Brenda. Coach B, like we like to call her. Thank you so much for all that you do. We are grateful. And thank you for bringing me here to this audience. I'm particularly excited. Even though, of course, I'm sure that by the next time my leg will be inside that hole. Are you? Yes, let's go there. Alrighty. And, when I saw this topic, I was very highly excited. Raising leaders for future you may never see. An amplified woman. Of course, we're looking at all of us in this room. Most of us are mothers or mothers to be, mentors, coaches, educators, change makers who want to raise intentional leaders. Now, how many of you are working hard? As in, you are working hard for a future you will never see. I want you to sink in. Every woman in this room, and I mean every single woman in this room, is already shaping someone who has not yet been born. As in, as you are, you're already in that mood. Now the question is not if or will you leave a legacy or not. It is what kind of instruction you'll be leaving behind in human form.
We need some quiet in the room, please.
That's the question today. Now, there are too many things that we want to begin to look at in this conversation today. So I've broken it into about 5 modules, but short modules that is going to, help you put a lot of these things together. So we're going to be talking about the amplified woman, and then we're going to be talking about raising leaders for the future you may never see. And then we're also going to be talking about the truth about legacy. And then we're also going to be talking about the amplification. How do we do amplifications? And then we'll now be talking about how do we tie all of this, together. So let's go. Since we have only a few minutes to go, I'm going to make sure that I put it all together. I don't know why you guys gave me 30 minutes to talk. I'm going to talk, and I did not tell you guys that you should have given me like 5 hours. Don't mind me. I don't have 5 hours to give. All right. Now, amplification is not visibility, is not influence, is not money. And that's why a lot of us miss it. Amplification is encoded. What you tolerate, what you model, what you normalize becomes the curriculum for amplification. Legacy is not what people absorb accidentally. No. Now, it is from your life. It's not just what you teach intentionally. It is from your life, your curriculum, what you tolerate, what you model, what you normalize becomes your curriculum. Some of us have normalized nonsense as our curriculum. Yes, that's part of our curriculum. All right? And this is something that is very key. There is a Bible verse in 1 Samuel 16 verse 7. Said the Lord does not the story of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ heard that was Matthew 14:13-14. Jesus Christ heard that John the Baptist had been killed. The Bible
Sands of time. No, there was something that meant something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I'll leave no regrets. Leave something.
Okay, ladies, have you had a good time today? I know we have spent a lot of time. In fact, we had a bit of a late start and all of that. And since this last speaker is virtual, we decided to do something. We would send you a link to the video, right? I don't want you to miss my own talk. So how about we skip things up a little? Who's ready?